good because it's a prequel, or like in the franchise, like a lot of people are saying, this movie stands on its own 2 feet. Obviously, it's part
Yeah.
of the greater universe, but I guess where would you put it now that we're revisiting this universe again?
That's a really good question. I haven't thought about that till this moment. So essentially, if I'm ranking all 5 Hunger Game movies, I definitely for me, Catching Fire Part 2 is the lowest for me personally.
Mockingjay Part 2.
Oh, sorry,
Yeah,
Mockingjay. Yeah, Mockingjay Part 2. Then I would probably put Catching Fire, Mockingjay Part 1 at 3. 2, you know what? I'm not I out of the whole thing. I am going to say the original Hunger Games, just because I'm really into world building, and I thought the first movie did a pretty good job of world building this world. I'm still keeping it at number 1, the original first movie, but I'm comfortable putting this Ballad of Snakes and Songbirds here at number 2 in this franchise for sure.
yeah, and again, that's pretty impressive nonetheless for a
Yeah,
movie coming out
definitely.
8 years
Yeah.
after the
If
the
anyone's
last
watching
one.
this, let us know your rankings in the comments below. I'd love to know if you
Yeah,
agree or
for
disagree.
sure. Um, yeah, curious if this is officially the end, but I guess if the author keeps making good stories, like you said, perhaps there's more to explore here. I just don't want like a Fantastic Beast situation, I think is more what I was referring to before,
Yeah,
where, the author was involved in creating stories, J.K. Rowling, and the movies weren't working for numerous reasons, but the screenplay was also a reason. And so I think if the story's good, like you said, I'm okay with that trend continuing. Any last thoughts on kind of this movie in particular or the franchise as a whole?
so we know that studios, when a movie is profitable, often they're like, okay, how can we keep making money off this? And you wonder, does the conversation happen of, hey, like, do you want to write more books or hire another author to write more books so that we could do a sequel trilogy or something to it, right? And I could see a story being there. I think that Pan Am is an interesting enough world that people would want to go back to it, check in. How is Cadmus doing? And